About a recent visit to Arlington National Cemetery. His team accused of recording video in a prohibited area. Veteran families now reacting to this?
Yeah, so this video shows the president visiting some of the grave sites of some of the 13 service members who were killed in that attack on Abbey Gate in Afghanistan. Trump trying to highlight Harris and this administration's handling of that chaotic troop withdrawal. But filming in this area of the cemetery is prohibited just for this reason, to not politicize the military.
This is such a funny thing that he did. He is such a clout-hungry social media demon, dude. I'm not gonna lie. This is my favorite Trump story of this election cycle so far. At first, I didn't cover it because I was like, who gives a shit? And then I read into the details, and it is hilarious, okay? He went to the Arlington National Cemetery. That's where all the veterans are. That's where all the soldiers are. And he did that so he could, cut content where he's like, Biden is so bad, he killed 13 of our best veterans. Kamala Harris killed 13 of our best veterans, okay? And he went there with the Gold Star family of like one of the parents of like one of the dead vets, right? And of course, there are like major reasons as to why you're not supposed to be doing this, because apparently, you know, you just can't do that. You can't do a photo op at the Arlington Cemetery. You can't do a campaign op at a cemetery in general. Okay. I love that the people that work at the cemetery were like, you can't do that. And he was like, nah, it's fine.
Terry, now, some families like that of Staff Sergeant Ryan Knauss say they give Trump permission. They say it's sad to restrict how the fallen are honored. But overnight, we heard from another Gold Star family, the sister of Sergeant Andrew Marcassano, who died by in 2020 after 8 tours of combat. His grave is also shown.
Yeah, one of the graves that was shown in the TikTok is the dude who killed himself. Breaking, the U.S. Army has a new statement out at the incident at Arlington and real Donald Trump. Of note, they confirmed that the parties were told of the laws against political activity and that an employee was pushed aside and filing charges were on the table. Oh my God. This is worse than when Scrub Daddy Girl on TikTok went to Mexico and scrubbed all those headstones for content. That's what I'm saying. This is my favorite genre of like insane TikToker nonsense. Trump is doing Scrub Daddy Girl it's phenomenal. We're gonna do it. I'll show you the U.S. Army rebukes Trump campaign for incident at National Cemetery. He's a TikTok girly, dude. He's a TikTok girly. Let him thrive. Y'all are everyone's against him, even the Army. Okay, Trump's gonna come out and be like, the Army, and all the vets are gonna be like, hell yeah, brother, you're right. I hate the Army. It's gay now and woke. Oh, it's so sick. Okay. It's dope. I'm fully on board with this. Okay. I'm fully on board with this. It's the John McCain controversy all over again. To be fair, a lot of vets hate the U.S. Army. Yeah, no, it's awesome. I first of all, as you guys know, I don't give a fuck about like how this is sacrilege. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I don't care that it's like, I don't care that it's like considered sacrilege to like do this sort of thing. Okay. I don't. But a lot of people certainly will be in their feelings about it. But it is funny as in general that Trump did this. The worst part about it is that like, yeah, he was, his staff were being rude and annoying to the people that work at the cemetery. That's reposting. Oh, they're doing it already. Reposting to trigger the hacks at the Army. GOP political strategist, combat wounded Marine, Pittsburgh native Chris LaCivita. It doesn't matter. None of this shit matters, okay? Republicans own patriotism. The primary reason for rules about filming is to preserve the idea that the military is politically neutral. They're doing a big crackdown against, again, on that, at least. That's what my cousin told me. Yeah, my cousin. Yeah. I get it. I get why those rules exist, okay? It's just funny. And no, it doesn't factor. Like Greg Stoker posting Biden doing the same thing does not obviously factor in a similar capacity, considering that he was a vice president considering that he was a vice president and not like actively campaigning or some. Okay. This doesn't mean you can't literally take pictures at the cemetery, dog, as a person. Like Trump has also been pictured at Arlington before when he was president. The difference is during an election cycle, when you're actively trying to cut campaigning footage at the Arlington cemetery, then it becomes a political problem. Bro made a TikTok. Now, I still, again, don't care necessarily, but for all of the context enjoyers and for all of the everybody does this, okay? Just, something to consider, that it's not the exact same equation at all. Speaking of cousin, my 4-year-old saw me watching you and now she calls you that boy and your cousin. Really good news out of the Biden admin, and I hope that Kamala Harris is shouting this during her campaign stops. We don't give but a lot of people do, and this makes it bad for Trump. No, they won't. It'll be the old, it didn't happen, and if it did happen, it wasn't that bad, and if it was bad, the other side has done worse, and if not, then free speech. Not a fan of context, to be honest. No, I'm just showing you, like, Biden has been pictured the secretary, so is Donald Trump. The difference is, like, it wasn't a campaign material that they were cutting. That's the major difference. It doesn't mean that, like, you can't film a president or a vice president ever at the Arlington cemetery. Of course, every goddamn elected representative has had that moment in the past. Love this story, though.
In this Trump video, and she says, quote, "We hope that those visiting this sacred site understand that these were real people who sacrificed for our freedom and that they are honored and respected accordingly." Now, the Harris campaign has responded to this. They suggest this behavior is just typical for Donald Trump. They say it shows that he's only out for himself, but J.D. Vance firing back at that criticism, using some charged language, saying that Kamala Harris, the sitting vice president, quote, "can go to hell."
Now to a growing controversy in the presidential race, and it has to do with this picture right here on your screen of former President Donald Trump at Arlington National Cemetery and an altercation that occurred on the grounds there.
Bro, they made him do the thumbs up. That's crazy work, okay? When I saw this photo, I couldn't believe it. That's crazy work, man. That's nasty. That is nasty. Insane pic. They're all smiling. They're smiling, and they got the thumbs up over the grave of their family member. What? What are we doing? I think this genuinely shows, like, the idolatry surrounding Donald Trump, okay? Like, where these guys actively think, I mean, they're actively more excited at the prospect of of genuflecting the dear leader than, like, the actual context of the situation. Dying equals L, posing for a photo over dead people W. Yeah. Oh, it's so sick. And I think like, if I'm not mistaken, I think this guy killed himself too. So they were, like, more mad about that too, where they literally were like, where they just, like, posted up, throwing the thumbs up over the grave of, like, another soldier too, like, that can be seen in the photo. Isn't not reading the room kind of the Republican MO? I mean, Donald Trump is goated at reading the room usually, but this is one of those situations where, like, he doesn't give a at the very least. It makes it extremely clear it's a campaign thing. He's not there to pay respect. Oh yeah,
involving his campaign staff. Meanwhile, on the other side, Vice President Kamala Harris prepares for a big moment with her running mate Tim Walz in the battleground state of Georgia today, and our Nancy Cordes has made her way to Savannah. Nancy, good morning. This is a first for the Harris-Walz campaign. What do we know?
That's right, Tony. It is the first sit-down interview that Vice President Harris will be doing since becoming the nominee. She's going to do it jointly with her vice presidential nominee, Tim Walz. She's going to do it here in Savannah, where she's also holding a rally at the end of a 2-day swing through the part of the state that is typically not a target for Democratic nominees. Southeastern Georgia is Republican territory, but Vice President Harris and her running mate Tim Walz are rolling through anyway. Polls show Harris has pulled even with former President Trump in this battleground state. And her campaign says 35,000 volunteers have signed up in Georgia since Harris became the nominee last month. So far, she has stayed mum on the controversy over her opponent's visit to Arlington National Cemetery on Monday. Defense officials tell CBS News that some Trump staffers got, quote, aggressive, both verbally and physically, when a cemetery official tried to prevent them from bringing a campaign photographer onto the grounds. Federal law prohibits election-related activity in the cemetery. The Trump team insists their cameraman was invited by the family members of Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover, and Hoover's family agrees. They all posed with Trump at Hoover's gravesite Monday. But there was another headstone in the picture belonging to Master Sergeant Andrew Marchesano, who died in 2020. In a statement to CBS News, Marchesano's sister said her understanding was that
he died in 2020 by himself. Is crazy, dude, this is a crazy